In the abyss, a spirit churned, dark, ancient, and consumed by an insatiable hunger, cast out, disembodied. It drifted through the ether, a wisp of malevolence seeking a vessel. The world, oblivious to the lurking evil, spun under a sky of indifference. But the spirit saw opportunity. It saw countless souls, unaware of the shadow creeping towards them. Whispers of the spirit's passage preceded it, and soon it would find its brush. On the horizon, a storm brewed, a maelstrom of churning clouds, reflecting the spirit's inner turmoil. Lightning cracked a jagged scar across the bruised sky. Thunder roared, the earth trembling beneath its might. The spirit, drawn to the escalating frenzy, felt an echo of its own rage within the tempest. It would become one with the storm, its essence woven into the very fabric of the wind. Night fell. The wind, a low growl just moments before, now shrieked through the trees, stripping branches and whipping leaves into a frenzy. Rain lashed down, each drop a tiny projectile assaulting the earth. Fear, primal and instinctive, gripped the hearts of those caught beneath the storm's wrath. The world outside had transformed into a place of unrestrained fury, and within the heart of the storm, something sinister was taking shape. High above the earth, amidst the churning clouds, a new terror was born. The wind twisted, forming a colossal funnel from the heavens to the earth. The tornado pulsed with newfound purpose, a weapon wielded by a vengeful spirit, hungry for chaos. The tornado, an extension of the spirit's will, began its dance of destruction. With terrifying speed, it ripped across the landscape, leaving devastation in its wake. Homes were reduced to rubble in the blink of an eye. The spirit reveled in the chaos, its laughter a chilling counterpoint to the storm's roar. Point to the demon, a swirling mass of ethereal energy, plunged into the heart of the tornado. The wind howled a discordant symphony, welcoming the entity into its chaotic embrace. The demon's essence intertwined with the storm's fury, merging into a singular, terrifying entity. No longer a mindless force, the tornado developed a chilling sentience. Its path became focused, almost deliberate. It had found the perfect vessel, a weapon of unimaginable destruction. The first town lay unsuspecting in the tornado's path, a peaceful collection of homes and businesses, oblivious to the approaching terror. The wind, a gentle breeze only moments before, began to pick up, swirling dust and debris. The air grew heavy, charged with static electricity. The tornado struck with the force of 1,000 battering rams. Buildings crumbled, roofs ripped off and sent flying like leaves. The air was filled with the deafening roar of the wind and terrified screams. This was the power it craved, reshaping the world in chaos and terror. The demon, drunk on power, steered the tornado through the heart of the town, leaving a trail of devastation. It delighted in the raw terror from the survivors huddled in their shattered homes. A lone house stood directly in the tornado's path. Inside, a family huddled together, faces illuminated by the eerie green glow. With a roar, the tornado slammed into the house, reducing it to splinters. This was only the beginning. The neighboring town, a speck on the horizon, remained oblivious to the approaching terror. A preternatural stillness settled over the land, the air thick with anticipation. Animals, attuned to nature's shifts, reacted with uncharacteristic panic. The sky darkened ominously, clouds gathering with unnatural speed. News of the first town's destruction traveled swiftly, carried on the tongues of terrified survivors fleeing the storm's wrath. Fear gripped the hearts of the townspeople. They knew their town was next. Time became a precious commodity as they raced against the storm, desperately preparing. Men worked feverishly to reinforce their homes, boarding up windows, securing loose objects. The tornado, its appetite for destruction whetted, slammed into the town with biblical force. Buildings crumbled, ripped from their foundations. The air, thick with dust and debris, roared. Cars, lifted into the air, became deadly projectiles. The demon reveled in the chaos. Town after town fell before the demonic tornado, each a scene of unimaginable destruction, a testament to the entity's insatiable thirst for chaos. Homes once filled with laughter and the warmth of family were reduced to rubble-strewn foundations. Fields, once bursting with life-giving crops, lay barren and scarred. The air, heavy with the stench of death and decay, carried the faint, metallic tang of blood. The demonic tornado, its power growing with each town it consumed, seemed to defy the laws of nature. It moved with an unnatural speed and agility, changing direction with lightning-fast reflexes. Highways, once arteries of commerce and connection, were transformed into obstacle courses of twisted metal and shattered glass. Bridges, symbols of human ingenuity and perseverance, crumbled and collapsed. The demon, drunk on power and the intoxicating terror it evoked, reveled in the destruction it wrought. Stories of the demonic tornado spread like wildfire, carried by terrified survivors fleeing the path of destruction. Tales of its unnatural speed and eerie green light sent shivers down the spines of even the most hardened skeptics. Some whispered of hearing voices within the storm's roar, chilling whispers of ancient evils. People abandoned their homes, seeking refuge in caves, basements, anywhere they thought they might escape the storm's wrath. Fear, though a potent weapon, can ignite resistance. As the tornado rained, whispers of defiance surfaced amidst despair. People, driven by desperation, started to organize. their fear turning to resolve. Farmers, their livelihoods destroyed, formed militias. Even children, their innocence shattered, found ways to contribute. Word spread of an old Native American shaman, a man said to possess ancient knowledge. Desperate for hope, people flocked to his remote mountain dwelling. The shaman, his face a canvas of ancient wisdom, listened as they recounted their horrors. He spoke of a demonic entity drawn to the storm's fury. Defeating it, he warned, required a sacrifice, a beacon of pure light. A young woman, scarred by the tornado, stepped forward, willing to sacrifice everything. Under the swirling, malevolent sky, the shaman led the survivors in a desperate ritual. Atop a windswept plateau, they formed a circle, their faces illuminated by the eerie green glow of the approaching tornado. The air crackled with energy, a palpable tension as the forces of light and darkness prepared to clash. The shaman, his voice a low, rhythmic chant, invoked the spirits of the land. He called upon the ancestors to aid them in their hour of need. The survivors, their hands clasped together, added their energy to the ritual. The young woman, chosen as the conduit, stood at the center of the circle. Her eyes, once filled with terror, now burned with a resolute light. She held aloft a crystal, pulsating with an ethereal white light. The wind howled around them, whipping their clothes, tearing at their hair. The demonic tornado, a swirling vortex of darkness and destruction, loomed ever closer. The tornado slammed into the plateau with the force of 1,000 thunderclaps. The survivors, their circle unbroken, held their ground, their combined will a bulwark against the storm's fury. The air crackled with energy, the very fabric of reality seeming to warp and twist. The crystal held aloft by the young woman pulsed with blinding white light, a beacon of pure energy that pierced the heart of the tornado. The demon roared in fury, its essence writhing within the storm's confines. A shock wave erupted from the point of impact, throwing the survivors to the ground. The wind screamed, a primal scream of rage and frustration. The earth shook, deep tremors running through the ground. The young woman, her body racked with pain, her vision blurred by the intense light, held the crystal aloft, her resolve unwavering. She poured her grief, her anger, her desperate hope into the crystal, focusing it into a single blinding lance of pure energy. The light intensified, engulfing the tornado, forcing the swirling darkness back, shrinking it, compressing the demonic entity within. The demon, its power waning, let out a final, ear-splitting shriek of despair that echoed across the ravaged landscape. Then, silence. The wind died down. The dust settled. The air no longer crackled with energy. The survivors, bruised but alive, slowly rose to their feet, their eyes blinking against the sudden normalcy of a clear, star-filled sky. The demonic tornado was gone, vanquished by an act of collective courage and sacrifice. The young woman, the crystal falling from her numb fingers, collapsed to her knees, her body drained but her spirit soaring. Around her, the survivors, Their faces etched with a mixture of awe and relief began to stir, their voices hushed whispers of gratitude and hope. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky, a new day dawned, filled with the promise of healing and the enduring strength of the human spirit.